Welcome to the weather forecast for the week beginning Thursday, December 4th, 2025. This is Chief Meteorologist John Ensworth for Longmont Public Media. Thursday, December 4th is our big full moon, and it is at what is called perigee, and so it's close to the Earth and a little bit bigger than normal. People are calling it the supermoon, and okay, if that's what you want to call it. But the moon is rising with the sunset and setting with the sunrise. Sunspots are going just crazy, and this is a high risk for the next week and a half of eruption, coronal mass ejection that could really ring our magnetosphere and cause aurora for everyone to see. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the skies. Watch the news. We've lost 8 minutes of daylight in the last week. Got some delay on the clicking here. All right. Guess we're in drought. Go back one. Sure I'm not missing anything. Sorry about that. So yeah, just had it paused. So looking at drought conditions, they are worse, even though we did get a bunch of snow. It's about ½ inch of water, liquid water equivalent at the lower elevations, and it's not really melting yet, so it's not getting into the soil, and so we do see the drought a little bit worse. Nationwide, not much change. Looking at the November drought expectations, here are the December drought expectations, and not much change, but you can see some that did go away around the margins around the Great Plains. Smoke, all's clear. And looking at our snow here, and I think that's it right there, yes. It's a little bit up, but this is not a giant snowstorm. It was just a little bit of good stuff all over. Now, the mountains are going to get continual snow almost for the next week, so we should see that jump up after this. Looking at precipitation, 95% of normal. It's good. Well, let's keep it going. We're definitely holding the water totals nicely. All right, let's take a look at snow. I'm trying to vamp here as the slides don't want to advance. So here's about 3.5 inches as of Wednesday. Go just west of town, and you can see 4 inches and more, 5 to 6 inches on the first day of the storm in Boulder. And daily precipitation, yeah. So next day we got about 3 inches more. I don't know why this is precipitation, but it is. And up to 10 inches more above Boulder. So very healthy storm overall. There is our precipitation, again, ½ inch or so. Along I-25 for most folks, we did get a little strip here of 2 to 3 inches, which is 20 to 30 inches of snow. Okay, for convection, nothing nationwide for Thursday. For Friday, a little bit in the southeast, and same area for Saturday. Things are quiet on the severe weather front. For Thursday, I see some mountain snows, a little bit down here in New Mexico as well. Cold front is still way down here in Mexico, and doesn't really start pushing away or being replaced by a warm front right away. You're going to see heavier snow in the central mountains on Friday, and the mountain snows continue on Saturday. I know we're right on the edge, but these always stop that. It's a new computer I'm having to use today, and we're having technical problems. Sorry. Yeah, it always kind of overdraws the boundaries, especially of snow. So our normal temperature is 44 down to 42. Normal nighttime temperatures are beginning to level out, 18 down to 17. You can see we start at the beginning here quite a good deal below normal. Quickly get to normal for the weekend. Normal's a little chilly, but we'll have to get used to that. But then next week we have a warming trend. It just gets up above normal and stays there again. That seems familiar. The nighttime temperatures are quite amazingly high. That's probably due to a lot of cloud cover. It's just going to be kind of cloudy. Much of the time, the clouds act like a thermal blanket, especially at night. So moderate clouds all the way through. Precipitation chances stay low. There's a little bit here on Saturday. You're gonna get a snow, snow, and snow for the mountains, and each hit of snow, you'll see from I-25 the a blanket of clouds over the mountains to kind of double the height of the Rockies. And once in a while, that might blow over and get us, especially evening or early morning when we're at lower temperatures. Wednesday, there's a little bit of elevated chance there, but not too excited about that. Winds will come and go based on the strength of the jet stream overhead and what's going on with the next snow event up in the mountains. And here we see there's the front way down south and a flow out of the northwest setting up for us. Let's put that in motion. This northwest flow is really the story for quite a while. Little ripples will come through and kick off snow showers in the mountains. We will get that downslope off the mountains, so we won't see stuff down on the plains here. There's a ripple right there. That's a very strong jet right there. That'll kick the winds up. That's kind of the boundary between the really cold and the really warm, and we're on the warm side of it for most of the time. So there we are out to next weekend with a big ridge. And then we kind of transition to zonal flow after next weekend, west to east flow. So here's the cold air behind the cold front, drifting down. You can see the mountains stay cold with good snow depth. Here's our super cold air coming along, and it tries to push into Colorado, but it's so brief, it's so cold and dense, it goes downhill out to the east. We're left with warmth with very cold mountaintops. Here comes another surge of cold, and it gets cool here, but that zonal flow, or sorry, the northwest flow, is that boundary between the super cold and us, where we have the warmth. And I think we get to see one more surge coming down here, cools down briefly east of the Rockies, and then people out in the eastern part of the nation get the rest. Right, skipping the moisture because it just doesn't tell much of a story, but you can see, watching the mountains here, hit after hit of mountain snows. We are right off Longmont, right off the edge here. So it's quiet for a day there. Then Monday, Tuesday, there's more snow. In fact, just snowing just on our mountains. And then the next system moves in, maybe some rain showers in the lower elevation, it looked like, but the mountains are getting the snow and mountains are getting more snow. So just keeps on going up there. That's fantastic for the ski resorts. All right, so here's our precipitation. This is total moisture up to, well, it'd be 28 inches to 35 inches of snow in the higher mountains there, and the cutoff is just in the foothills. That was precipitation. Here's the snow. You can see some of the greens here are 20, 22 inches, even up to 30 inches of snow up there. I have to do it this way because this model, I'm going to go back, shows snow on the ground. So as it melts, it actually decreases. I don't want that. I want the total accumulation of just new snow, and I've got to go to this model for that. Going out 10 days, the mountain's just getting pounded with snow, and we're right on that boundary where it is not going to happen really. And the snow is, there's 42 inches over the next 10 days in some of the higher elevations. So fantastic for our hydrology, fantastic for ski resorts. So we're starting cold Thursday, just not even getting above freezing, very cold at night. Little chance of blowover precipitation. Then 30s and 40s, then we start warming up to, gosh, we almost see 60, might see 60s on Tuesday next week, way above normal and dry. So the monthly outlook for December puts us right on that boundary between the super cold up here and the warm down below, and kind of coming out overall equal chances of warm and cold. Now and then, 2 weeks out, we're on the warm side of things. So it must mean we're going to cool down later, closer to Christmas. For precipitation for the whole month, we're right on the edge of above normal, but there's our mountain snow in there with system after system coming in. But looking 2 weeks out, we're getting a little bit above normal is what we'd expect. And a little bit extra for the mountains. That's it. This has been Chief Meteorologist John Ensworth urging you to keep looking up.